All righty. Happy Friday, y'all. It is so good to be here with y'all. The devil is busy. Listen, y'all, we were ready to go. And then the computer wanted to start acting up. So apologies for that. When y'all come in, let us know where you are tuning in from. Happy Friday, happy Friday. So listen, we're bringing back Relationship Fridays just for the month of February, unless y'all say, yes, we need more, unless y'all say that. So for Fridays, we are going to be doing the Relationship Fridays. And as y'all see, I have a guest with me tonight. Yes, we have Miss April B in the building. So thank you so much for being here, April. So as y'all come in, I want you to share this. I want you to okay, what do I want you? Let me back up. I'm Rachel with RDH Counseling and Consulting, where we help you become your healthiest self. Tonight's what is this? Relationship Friday is hosted by RDH Counseling and Consulting. And we are so excited to be here. So we have Miss April joining us tonight. Extraordinaire self-care, affirmations extraordinaire in the building with us. Hey y'all, as you come in, let us know where you are tuning in from. We had a little bit of technical difficulties earlier, so we apologize for starting late, because listen, I don't play about starting late now for my lives. And sometimes, in real life, I might show up late, but on my lives, we are on time. Hey, Edwina, it is good to see you. So listen, Edwina and the rest of y'all that are in here, where y'all tuning in from? We want to shout y'all out. I also want to ask that you right now share the live. Go ahead, share it. Press the share button. Invite your friends to come in, and we want to know where y'all are tuning in from. So listen, we are going to be talking about self-care. We're going to be talking about intimacy. So this is going to be a wonderful conversation, like it always is. For those of y'all, we haven't done a Relationship Friday, aka Freaky Friday. We haven't done one of those in, it has to be at least 6 months. So hey, it's been a while since we've done one. Hey, George Simpson in the ATL in the house. So it's been a while since we've done one. So if you do not know what Relationship Friday, if this is your first time doing Relationship Friday, throw that in the chat. Say first time. This is a newbie. Put it in the chat, because I want to see who where we are with things. Like, is this your first time? Have you been here before? If this is your first time, I want you to go ahead and throw that in the chat. Give me a second. I got to get my life together, because I had to restart the whole computer, y'all. So let me get myself together really quick. But as y'all are coming in, let me know where you are tuning in from. Let me see.
I was going to say too, Rachel, it was funny because we were ready to go. We were ready.
Oh, I'm the devil. You know how the devil is.
Of course.
They say the devil is busy. All right, so I got this other. So listen, y'all. We're doing it big. We're trying some new stuff. Let me put it like that. Hey, Kitty from Norfolk. So listen, we are streaming. We are on Facebook. We're also on YouTube, y'all. So tonight is the first night that we are doing both. So listen, y'all are gonna see me like this and like this, like I'm trying to look at all of the cameras and connect with everyone. Hey, Carolyn, Avery, it is good to see you. Let me know where y'all are tuning in. All right. Make sure you share. Make sure you invite your people to come in, because now it's time for us to talk about self-care, and then we're gonna hop into intimacy. Like what is that? What does that look like? But let's start with self-care. Like we hear people talking about self-care, and how you love yourself. So let me start with that, right? Self-care is, the way I like to think about it is really it's you're in relationship with you. And so it's how are you taking care of you, right? How are you treating yourself? And when you love yourself, then it's a lot easier to take care of yourself and to do a better job with that. So what's your thoughts, Miss April? How do you define self-care, self-love? Let's start there.
No, and I mean, I think you said it perfectly, Rachel. And it's funny because I heard you say that the other day, and I was like, you know what? I love that. It really is you being in relationship with yourself,
Yep.
taking care of yourself, whether that's physically, spiritually, emotionally. There are so many different ways that we need to do that. And
Yeah.
it's important that we get that done. It's all about that journey of getting to, complete self-love. And it doesn't mean that there are going to be parts of you that, you struggle with, or, you may continue to have to work on, but
Mm-hmm.
acknowledging that and enforcing that self-care is really going to be the key.
Yeah. I think a lot of people are like that. Like you don't even realize that, you are in relationship with yourself. Like before anybody else, you are the one person that all day, every day, when you wake up in
Yep.
the morning, it's you. So you really are in relationship with yourself. And the way I like to, in my coaching class, I like to put it and ask people like this: when you wake up, right? Like, are you ignoring yourself? Like, how are you treating you? If you were in relationship with someone else and you treated them the way you treat you, would they want to keep being with you? So a lot of people don't look at it from that perspective. So you are absolutely right, that it is important to do that self-care. Okay, so hey, for those of y'all who are just tuning in, hey Shaquana, let us know where you're tuning in from, Shaquana, and the rest of y'all. So look, I see y'all over there on YouTube. Oh,
Hey,
let me remain professional.
I love it.
Okay, YouTube is in the building. If you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do so. We're trying to get our subscribers up. We just got over there not too long ago, but 14, 15, we're at 15 now. Thank you. By the time we end this live, I need us to be at at least 20. So Shaquana is joining us from Philadelphia. So I want us to be at least 20 plays.
We gonna shoot for 100 because everybody's sharing this, right?
That
Everybody's sharing.
part. Yes, yes. All right. So let me pull my questions back up. Okay. So tell me, April, now when you are talking to people or when you're thinking about self-love, self-care, and engaging in self-care, what does that look like? Like, what are some things that you kind of do? And then what would you encourage other people to do?
Yeah. So, and Rachel, if you don't mind, if I could take a step back and just kind of introduce myself, so
Oh,
they'll,
oh,
they'll.
yes,
No, it's
please.
fine. It's
Wait a minute, hold on, let
fine.
me do it right. April, no, 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 let me do it right. Listen, y'all, for those of y'all just tuning in, this is a Relationship Friday. I'm your host, Rachel, and we have a special guest, Miss April. Now, April is all things delicious self-care. But April, would you please introduce yourself? Tell the people who you are. Introduce yourself.
Yes, thank you, Rachel, for the opportunity. So, yes, I'm April. I'm an author from Cleveland, Ohio, also known as the Affirmation Lady, because I'm giving the best affirmations to either change your life or help you maintain your best life. And I do that through multiple channels. First, I am a 5-star rated e-course creator. I am also a number 1 best-selling author, and I create affirmation journals, notebooks, candles, all things affirmation. The formal name of my business is Me, Myself, and Family, and it really stems from us making sure that we take care of ourselves and love ourselves in the midst of taking care of others. I think a lot of times we think we're doing, our best by caring for everyone else and making sure they're good, but we're pouring from an empty vessel and we don't even realize it. So that's where that self-care is very important, and it needs to be a priority so that we can love others as much as we can and holistically.
Yes. Listen, did y'all hear? Did y'all hear? Listen, did y'all hear what the lady said? She's an author. Now I can vouch for her candles, y'all. So I got one of the candles and they are so delicious. So it's an affirmation candle. So the one that I got is called Gratitude Green Apple. Is that what it's
Yep,
called?
that's it.
It smells so good. It had my whole house smelling delicious. I am a big smells person. So I had my whole house doing what it needed. What do they say? Giving what it needed to give.
Yes.
It smells so good. And then up there was an affirmation, and I love that. I love starting my day with that. So because I had to log out, April, don't put the stuff back in the chat for me, please.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry about that. Okay. So now that y'all know who I have with us, um, let's talk. Let us jump in. So for those of y'all who are just joining, we are talking relationship, right? And right now we're talking about the relationship you have with yourself. And a lot of times we don't even think about the fact that we are in relationship with ourselves. And so the care that we would normally give to someone we were in relationship with, we don't give to ourselves. So we're talking about self-care, how that looks, what that is, and then how we show love to ourselves through self-care. And then we're going to talk about intimacy and how self-care helps us connect with our partner. But then also we need to talk a little bit about what the heck even is intimacy, because I am sure that there are going to be a lot of different ideas about what intimacy is. So, all right, Miss
Yes.
April. All right.
Yes.
So now that you have properly been introduced, because I don't know who the host is. Like, we're gonna have to call administration. We got to call management on the host because we got to give her some grace because she had stress at the beginning. So we're going to give her some grace. But tell us about the self-care, how that looks. How do you, let me start there. Let's start personal. Then we're going to go to the people in the audience. How are you engaging in self-care? How does that look for you? What is even self-care? And then tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So, for me, what I really had to first understand was that the things that I enjoy can be forms of self-care.
Yeah.
So I was, talking to a friend earlier, and they know I have, my routines in the morning, my cup of coffee. I listen to a good podcast episode. And, for a long time, I thought these were just things that I enjoyed doing.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't until I realized that it was a form of self-care for me, because it was, something that allowed me to kind of just level set and relax, and it's fun,
Yeah.
that's when I realized it was self-care, and that allowed me to appreciate it a little bit more. Um but outside of that, I'm always looking for things that will help me appreciate myself more,
Yeah.
as well as whatever that item is.
Mm-hmm.
For example, drinking water, that's a very obvious one. um Making sure I take drink your water, mind your business, mind my business. That audio, that reel is playing in my head all day, every day. But yeah, just making sure that my body gets the proper things that it needs, that I get that relaxation in, that I
Yeah.
do things that, make me feel cute and, pampered, just things that really do help me feel like I'm taking care of myself,
Yeah.
and things that I feel like I can see a result from. Even the spiritual side of self-care, whatever that looks like for people,
Mm-hmm.
it shows up in how you act or treat others, or, your mindset and the words you speak. So for me, that's what self-care is. And that's how it kind of shows up for me.
Okay. Okay. Now I love that because, well, first off, I love my coffee too.
Me
And
too.
I have my and you hit it on the head. In the morning, I got this routine that I do when I get up. That's right. Like I get my journal, I do my devotion, like I got my coffee. That thing get you right. And it's like that's my space. Like if I when I don't do my devotion in the morning with my coffee, I have the wind. I got a whole I got a whole thing I do, right? So I get up, got my coffee, go in. There's a room in my house that's right across. There's water, so I open the blinds up, get the lighting just right. I have my music playing like it's a whole. What do I say? It's a whole vibe. It's a whole mood, and that's one of the things that I do for self care, and that gets my mind right. That gets my
Mhm.
mind right. So I love when you talk about that. Let me hear from y'all. What are y'all doing for self care? Like you heard what me and April talked about as far as what we do for self care, but what are you all doing for self care? Like what's the thing you do every day? Do you? Well, let me back up. Now I'm just assuming
Yeah.
people are doing self care, but sometimes, and I kind of want to hear from you, April. What would be some barriers that would make people not do delicious self care? Like, what would be some reasons people aren't engaging in self care?
Yeah, for a while, for me, it was just the mindfulness of it.
Yeah.
We're all so busy with, kids and our spouses, work, businesses,
Yes.
trying to have a social life, whatever it is, you know, that we don't think about it. As
Yeah.
as long as I, can walk and talk and I'm fine,
Mhm.
and we don't really take that time out, So I think that's to me that's probably the biggest barrier. And also too, um, people are probably doing self-care and don't even realize it, So where it may seem like they're not doing it, they probably are. They just need to, enjoy and appreciate it enough and be
Yeah.
mindful of it when they're doing it for it to be
Yeah.
self-care. I tell people all the time, one of the things I'll do is I'll pull in my driveway and I'll sit for 10 minutes and just sit in the car and
Yes.
just, that for me, especially when the kids are home, right?
That
That's self-care.
yes.
And that's okay. It doesn't have to be extravagant and, spa days every day. Just something that, you have for yourself that you can enjoy and appreciate.
April, that's a good point because sometimes there's this misperception about what self care is. And sometimes we feel like it's this overindulgence in ourselves and that we have to spend a lot of time or a lot of money doing something for it to be self care. But really, it's how you're treating yourself. And so that could be just taking the quality time, like before you go into the house. And I know your kids aren't rugrats, but there are some, kids that some parents are like, what I don't feel like doing is
Yeah.
going to the house just yet, like giving yourself allowing yourself to decompress from the day. So sitting in the car for a few minutes before you going in is self care. When you are at work, taking a lunch. Like if you say, I'm not standing here, I'm going to actually eat my lunch. And when people come to your door and it's lunchtime and you say to them, no, I'm on my lunch break, that's self-care. So there are things that you all are doing that may be self-care that you're not even aware of. So I love that you bring that up. Kenny said, thank you for sharing, Kenny. Kenny said, taking time to relax instead of working so hard and long each day is definitely a form of self care. I was talking to a lady yesterday, and we were talking about how sometimes we go. We're doing all the time, so we have two or three jobs, or two, especially if you're an entrepreneur. You're working maybe a full time, and then you have a part time or things projects that you're working on, and we're going so hard and it's burning us out. And so when we are able to say, wait a minute, let me relax and not work so hard, that's another form of self-care. So definitely. Shaquana, listen, I'm looking at the second part. So Shaquana said, pray, make my bed, drink. April says every
Every
time
time.
somebody says water, we got to drink our water, do my hair, read my horoscope, and eat fruit. I love it. April, what are your thoughts about that?
I love it. I love it. And it's nice that people are getting very clear about what self-care looks like for them.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
for some people, making their bed is self-care.
Listen.
It is.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. So shout out to Kenny and to
Shout
Tony for
out.
sure.
Yes. Because that's one of the other things that people don't recognize is your space, the environment. So not just only the people you have in your space, but what your space looks like plays a big role in how you feel. So if your bed is not made and it's cluttered, that plays a role because what happens is there's messaging that subconsciously you're taking in. So being able to make your bed up, right? Pick up after yourself. I was telling, I forget, I have so many conversations. I forgot where this conversation was, but we were talking about clutter and how for the ladies, look in your purse. Where's your purse looking like? Because oftentimes it's symbolic of where you are emotionally. So your car, what is your car looking like? Is it trash all over the place? Is there a lot of stuff there? That is very oftentimes symbolic or indicative of where you are emotionally and mentally. You have a lot of stuff going on. So I love that. I love that. Richard said, thank y'all for joining. Listen, when y'all come in, hey Chevette, when y'all come in, tell us where you're tuning in from. Also, what are you doing for self-care? And then invite people. Go ahead, hit the invite button, share, and like. Minding your own business.
Okay.
Minding your business is definitely self-care. Tell us more, Richard, about that. April, is minding your business self-care?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is. Now, I'm going to agree. I'll tell you why. And Richard, I want to hear more about what you mean when you say minding your business, right? So there's two ways, right? So minding your business, meaning if you have a business and you're handling your business, you are doing the work, you're putting in the work, you're grinding, you minding your business, you're taking care of yourself because you got to look at it holistically. So you have health, financial health, right? Physical health, spiritual, sexual health, all of that. So if you're minding your business, then yes, that's self-care. But then if you're staying out of trouble, stay in your lane, mind your business. That helps you not have the stress, anxiety, worry about people trying to come for you because you're not minding your business. Now that's just what I'm assuming he's saying, April. I don't know. Clarify for us.
Protecting your energy, right?
There you go. There you go.
Yep.
Definitely. I'm loving the comments, y'all. Latanya, hey, welcome. Latanya said, meditate, work out, and listen to short motivational speeches in the morning. So Latanya, for those of y'all don't know, she is a nurse. She's also a coach. She for real works out. And she will get you right. So if you're trying to get your body right, physical health together, get up with her. Hey Chevette. Okay, so April, Richard clarified, minding your own business, eliminating one's busybody impulses.
Okay.
I love it. Okay, so y'all talked about we know what self-care is. We know how when we engage in self-care, it really is a form of self-love. Now let's kind of go into the relationship part of things, right? Because we talked about the relationship with yourself. Now, when you're in a relationship, you're not always let me back up because I'm about to preface it. How? Let me just ask the question and then I want to hear from you. So, in relationships, how do we do self care in relationships? How do we do that? What does it even look like? Like, can you do self care if I'm connected in a relationship? And how, if I do, how does it help? Does it help? No, April, you're not going to respond?
Oh, I was reading the comments.
No.
No,
I said no, it's
you know, I
frozen.
see the comments. I'm like, this is so amazing. I can see but no, it does. I think your question was how does it help? So it kind of goes back to my point earlier about the empty vessel. You
Yeah.
know, you can't eat as well as you think you're doing. I guarantee you, you could be doing a lot more or
Yeah.
much better if your vessel is full.
Yeah.
Um, Sorry about I just got a phone call. So yeah, I mean, I think in a nutshell, that really is what it is. You got to take care of you, and indirectly, it takes care of everyone else.
Okay. So that's a really good point too, right? Because if you are broken down and the women that I coach, that's when they come to me, that's the area they're struggling in, right? How do I give, and I'm broken down, I'm depleted, I don't have the energy that I need. And so I love that point that you're making, that you can't pour from an empty vessel, so you definitely have to give yourself what you need first. So when you're in a relationship though, when would be the times that self-care is going to be important? So let me hear from y'all. Let me hear from y'all in the comments. When would self care be necessary in a relationship, and how does that look? How does that look in a relationship? So Kenny says, absence makes the heart grow fonder. Give me my space and me time, and then we'll come back together and be great. Listen, what do you think about that? What do you think about that?
I love that. And let me just ask you, Rachel, is my audio okay?
Yes.
Okay, because your audio is coming across weird for me, but I think it's because I got that phone call.
Okay.
Um, but I can hear you as long as everyone else can. I'm good. I can work through
Let
it.
me ask them. Can y'all hear us? And do we sound distorted at all? There's a normally like a little lag before they between.
Yeah.
So let me hear. Can y'all hear us? Do we sound distorted? We hear both of you all well.
Okay.
Excelente. Okay, good.
Okay. Perfect.
All right.
Yeah, but I agree with Kenny. Listen, there's nothing wrong with taking time away so that you can replenish,
Yeah.
too much of anything is not a good thing. Hello. So I definitely agree with Kenny on that.
Yeah. Now listen, that's the part that's going to be important. And this is so in order, it's so part of self-care is setting boundaries and advocating for yourself. So those are the two things that I'm hearing Kenny say, right? Setting
Mhm.
boundaries, saying, hey, I need me time, I need me space, or space for me, or time for me, right? And then advocating is speaking up and saying what you need, and then when you go ahead and do it, that's going to be important. Now if you're in a relationship and you cannot get me time, self-care is not advocated for, and then that's a problem. That's something you may let me say it in a professional tone. You may want to reconsider the relationship that you're in. uh,
Facts.
that big facts. So in addition to getting the me time, coming back together so that you all can be great, what are some other things that you all are doing in your relationship that you consider to be self-care? For those of y'all who are just tuning in, thank you. Welcome. I want y'all to let us know where you're tuning in from. Share, please, right now. Share. And then what else do I want you to do? Invite your friends to come on in. Let me pull in some of the comments. You all okay? So Edwina said you always have to take time for yourself. That is something I have personally had issues with. Yeah, we tend to get so engulfed in everyone and everything else that we forget to make sure that we are okay. Man, Edwina, you saying a mouthful. April, thoughts?
I agree 100, 1000%. And that's the thing too, Rachel, um, it's a journey for, some of us. I know for me it is. I was in the same boat, where I struggled with that. I struggled with, making sure that I got that in. And listen, every day
Yep.
is not a day of, mindfulness and all these things, that we talk about. I mean, it's a journey, There are some days where it doesn't happen, but I'm mindful of when it's not happening. I think that's the key now, being mindful of when you are not doing it so that you can take a step back and get it in. But it is a journey. It really is.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely agree. And I think as a as society, as women, as business owners, as mothers, as fathers, um, we are always thinking about how we can provide for, how we can care for, right? How we can do for someone else. And that's how we end up getting burnt out if we're not taking care of ourselves. So I'm going to bring up some more. I'm laughing in advance.
You know what, Richard? I'm not doing this today.
Richard said, so is a side piece self-care. We just go at what do y'all think in the comments? Brandy said, I am single at this time. However, I still make time to just chill and relax my mind or do something that I want to do for myself. Shut off the phone and all distractions and get centered. I love that. And the thing is,
Mhm.
we may not be in relationship with someone else, but we are in relationship with ourselves. And we kind of talked about that a little bit earlier. So, getting yourself together, relaxing your mind, doing that, making sure that your emotional health is where it needs to be. Man, that's self care. What do
Yeah.
you? Mhm.
Yeah, and I was gonna say too, one of the best things, or something that I really appreciate, in the single journey is time alone now.
Yes.
I have no issues going out to breakfast by myself. I was just thinking about doing that tomorrow. Just
Mhm.
going to have breakfast, movies. I've done concerts. I enjoy, and I never thought I would be this person, but I enjoy it. So shout out to Brandy for embracing that and
Yeah.
still figuring out how to get that in.
Exactly. And that's the part, April, when a person is secure in themselves and enjoys themselves, that really does speak to the relationship that you have with you because you enjoy it's okay to be with you. And so that really does speak to the level of relationship that you have with yourself. There are some individuals that are like, I can never go out by myself. I have to, or I have to be in a relationship. And no, not at
Yeah,
all.
yeah.
Um,
And I'll
yes.
even say too, Rachel, the interesting thing about that is, and it kind of goes back to the point earlier, I've always been that way. I didn't mind doing anything, by myself.
Mhm.
I didn't, but once I realized that it was a form of self-care for me, it was like,
Leave me
yeah.
alone.
But it just goes back to the point we're doing things, that we don't even realize are self-care for us. We just kind of going about our day instead of appreciating them as that.
Exactly. Exactly. Brandy said, yes, me too, April. Movies, lunch, vacation, travel.
Yep.
Yes, that part is important. So now we've talked about self-care, and then we've looked at it in how we do self-care in relationships and the benefit of self-care, right? If we're empty, we're not able to pour. Um, let's get a little bit deeper. Let's talk about this whole connection, right? This whole thing of intimacy. And I want to hear from y'all. And I'll start with you first, April. When you think about intimacy, what does that mean? What is intimacy to you? What does that entail? What does that look like? Like, what is that? And then we're going to tie that into self care, self love. So let me. What's your thoughts on that? And then I want to hear from y'all. What is Girl, I'm trying to move on to the intimacy, but I can't. The comments. It's the comments for me.
Yeah. Loving the interaction and the engagement. I love
Yes.
it.
Latanya
But
says
I'll answer that, Rachel. When I think about intimacy, I would say that at the core of it is self-love
Mhm.
and self-care, so that then you are able to have that connection.
Yeah.
Now, are we talking about with a partner or just, with
Whatever.
ourselves,
What is your what
Yeah,
when you think about intimacy? Because there can be a lot of different ways that people look at it, think
yeah,
about it. So what comes to your mind?
yeah. It would definitely be connection, you know, that connection that you're able to have with somebody else. And I feel like a lot of times what hinders that is the lack of self-care. And it's probably because there's no self-love. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
in my mind, they're all connected, you
Yeah.
know? And I think a lot of times people will try and focus on the connection first
Yeah.
when maybe the other things need to be watered, so
Mhm.
that it kind of flows into that connection that you can make with your partner, in a confident way.
Mhm. I love that because when you are, and this is, I want, so for the audience, I want you all to think about how you define intimacy. So, April, I'm definitely hearing you say that when you think about intimacy, it really does, in order to even connect with someone else, you really truly do have to be able to connect with you.
Yeah.
And I definitely agree with that. And sometimes it is very challenging for people who are not connected with themselves. Because again, remember, we talked about you're in relationship with you. So if you have never connected with you, well, how can you authentically and genuinely connect with someone else um, and be able to know how to do that, right? Because if you haven't seen it role modeled, if you don't know what it looks like to take care of yourself, that's the other thing that we have to realize as well is we oftentimes emulate what we've seen role modeled. So if I speak from the perspective of a female, so if your mother, as a female, if your mother showed you that she was always on the go, always did, people came to her for everything, she never said no, she just, worked her, what do they say, worked herself to the bone or something like that,
Hmm.
and you never saw her, saying no, advocating for herself, going on walks, just kind of being by herself, saying, hey, I got to take me time. If you've never seen that, you are going to repeat the same way of behaving. And so you haven't even learned how to connect with you, let alone now a person like that. Now, that this is, I don't want to generalize, but if you're not able to take care of you, it's oftentimes going to reflect in how you relate to other people. More than likely, there would be difficulty in your mother, connecting with her partner if she had a partner. And so then that part is missing as well. So this whole connecting with you is really important part of intimacy. Now, a lot of times, so I want to hear from y'all. How do you all define intimacy? How do y'all define that? Because I think a lot of times we go to sex, right? Like
Hmm.
sex is how we're being intimate. And I want to challenge that just a little bit. I want to challenge that just a little bit. Um, and I don't want to give my thoughts away because I do want to hear from the audience on it. It takes them a little bit of time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, but so I'll say this. And don't copy my answers, y'all. But when we talk about intimacy, and I alluded to it earlier, and I can't act like I created what I'm about to say. So I will give whoever came up with this props. But for tonight, it's mine.
It's yours.
um, so Shaquana said, a part of my self-care is breaking all generational habits. And that's kind of what we talked about, where sometimes some of the generational patterns that we've seen is a disconnect with ourselves, right? We don't allow ourselves to acknowledge how we're feeling. And sometimes there's a disconnect with connecting with others. So partner relationships, very unhealthy. And so that is a great form of self-care, Shaquana. So when we're talking about intimacy, before we even get to the sex part of things, we're really talking about an emotional connection. So being able to connect with someone on an emotional level, because you can hump, you can have sex, and that person still not have you, right? So as women that are in relationships, how, don't put it in the comments, this is just a rhetorical question, right? But how many times, women, are we in relationships and the man that you're with doesn't even know that he's not getting all of you? He doesn't even know that you've shut, there's a party you didn't shut, oh, I'm sick and tired of it, you done shut, you're having sex, but he's not getting all of you. So emotionally you've shut down. So when we're talking about intimacy, there's a whole lot more to it than just penetration, the penis in the vagina, right? There is, what do they say? There's layers to this. What are your thoughts about that, April?
I agree. I agree with you. And taking it to, the self-love, self-care piece, any single people in the chat, listen, get that self-love and that self-care together, because it will allow you to, when, these people come around now,
That part.
it'll even allow you to be able to decipher
That part.
what even deserves your attention for a potential connection. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yes. Okay.
So we have to, it's all connected. It really is. It really is.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Let me bring in some of these comments. Okay, Brandy said, outside of sex, I think about intimacy as connected communication, directed attention, and focus on the one I'm in a relationship with. That so we're seeing. So Brandy, I'm going to break down a few pieces of what I'm hearing you say. Connection, and this is April, what we talked about.
Yep.
But then she threw in the communication, right? So being able to express, to connect with someone and express yourself, being able to be heard. See, that's the girl, you saying some stuff, right?
Said a word.
Yes, because the thing is this: how can you be intimate with someone? Oh, this is what I was saying, alluding to earlier. So intimacy, into me, see. In order for me to, like Brandy is saying, connect with you, and like what you were saying, April, earlier, to be secure and to have that connection with someone, I have to feel safe enough to do that, because I'm allowing you into me see. Like I am bringing the walls down, right? I am opening myself up. I am connecting with someone because I feel heard, that communication piece. I feel seen. I feel loved. I feel appreciated. I feel valued. And because of that, I'm able to connect. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Sure
Yeah,
does.
yeah. Let me
I
see.
like that. Into me see. I like that.
Girl, when I heard
Love
that
it.
thing, I was like,
Yeah.
that's the core of what we're talking about, right? Intimate sex, that's nothing. I mean, not in a bad way, because they're really, so I don't want to, let me back up, because I don't want to minimize sex, and I don't want to minimize the impact of sex. And you hit
Mm-hmm.
this on the head earlier, because when we are connecting with men and we're not healthy, we're not connected to ourselves, it's very easy to connect with other people who are not good for us. And so we're opening ourselves or opening our legs to other people. We're giving ourselves away to these people who mean no good to us. And what ends up happening is further damage and there's further fracturing of ourselves. So,
Yep.
yeah, girl, when I heard that, I was like,
I like that.
oh, I'm going to use that. I'm going to use that.
I'm gonna use it too after this.
Okay, okay. Let me hear from y'all in the comments. I'm gonna pull up some of the comments. Make sure y'all share this, invite your friends, especially those that you know they need to hear about this intimacy part. Because what we just learned about is more than just sex. So let's talk about that. Okay, Edwina is agreeing. Richard said intimacy. Ooh,
I like
ooh,
it.
child. Intimacy is embracing others' vulnerability. Good. Girl. April, what's your thoughts on that?
Well, I love it, and I love how he has pivoted a little bit from the prior conversation.
He said, listen,
I
the
mean,
side chick, I am
yeah,
embracing her vulnerability.
yes,
No, I'm playing. Go
I
ahead.
love that, embracing others' vulnerabilities. I mean, I don't even know where to go with that because there's so much that could be that could be said about that.
Yeah.
When you think about what others are trusting you with in that,
Yep.
you
Yep.
know, if that doesn't speak connection, I don't know what does.
That part.
You
That
know,
yes. And
it,
that
it's I love it.
yeah, that trust part is so trust doesn't come easy. And when a person trusts you enough, when a person feels safe enough to trust you enough to let you see their ugliness like
Yeah,
into them, and the other person doesn't take advantage of that. They don't judge you. They don't make you feel bad. They embrace you. Oh, child. Now that's when I'm talking about intimacy. That is intimacy, right?
yep,
And that's like who just said that? Oh, I think it was Edwina. Somebody just said the embracing me mentally. Oh no, Shaquana said touch me mentally before you touch me physically. That's what that is. That is you have we have been able to connect on such a deeper level. Because think about this. When we've been hurt in the past, we all want to stay safe. And so one of the things that we do, we put a wall up, right? Like, yeah, what you're not finna do is hurt me again. So we and women are notorious. Like we know how to put a wall up. Like I got the wall. I got the castle that the wall is in. There's
hmm,
alligators in front of this castle, and then there's a box around my heart, and that box is in the castle that's behind the moat and is way deep. Like we know, we know how to protect. And so
yeah,
for a person to finally open up and to connect with someone and that other person um, trusts them with the information and doesn't betray their trusts, that's intimacy. And then now we can okay, that that is a lot more meaningful at times than sex, when you think of it like that. Let me bring up some of these other comments. Let's see. All right, Brandy says shutting down all other distractions, cut off the phone and focus on that individual, give them my undivided attention. As far as this being intimacy, what are your thoughts, April? Like giving, listen, I'm gonna give you my full and undivided attention. I am not gonna have a side piece. I'm gonna give you
that part.
all. It sounds like what she's saying is I'm giving you all of me.
Yeah, yeah, and I think Brandy was also the one who mentioned the communication, right? The connected connection through communication.
Yeah.
So, yep, another great point.
Yeah, I love that. Ravanya, hey, welcome. Let us know where y'all are tuning in from. Share this, share. Can y'all share this for me? Like right now, please. Thank you. I appreciate it. And invite your friends. So Ravanya said intimacy is loving beyond a sexual response or action. Doing things that make yourself emotionally connected. Woo! Without giving your whole heart until you're ready to communicate wholeheartedly and show your real you, to discuss how you really feel, to be accepted unconditional. Listen, Ravanya. All right,
Woo.
April. Ravanya then wrote the book.
Okay.
She got the movie and the t-shirt. Listen, she said this, intimacy is more than just sex. It's about having that emotional connection, not jumping the gun, like you said earlier. The other thing that she said speaks to wisdom, because she's talking about being intuitive,
Mm-hmm.
being discerning. Is this who I need to give myself to? Right. So a lot of times we say, "Oh, I fell in love." What you mean you fell? No, honey, I don't want you to fall, because then you're gonna hurt yourself. I want you.
Okay.
I don't want.
Yep.
We don't need any fall. I need you to be mindful, to be wise, to be watching, to be looking. But
Mm-hmm.
when we are broken, when we have not done the work to heal, when we are not engaging in self care, when our spiritual health, mental health, emotional health is not where it needs to be, it's easy to do the opposite of what Miss Ravanya was saying. So I think that's a good point. Anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, only, just it also helps because I know she said something about finding out if there should be an emotional connection before
Mhm.
are wholeheartedly in. I mean, finding out if they deserve it,
That
if they
that
deserve you. And that's part of that. So, yep.
yeah, knowing your value and your worth. And that's one of the things that in the course that I teach, we have to start there. Like we can't even go. Y'all are talking about you want to do this and that. Hold on, me, baby. Wait a minute. Let's bring it on back. Because
Yep.
how are you seeing yourself? And you know what the crazy thing is, April? We don't, especially as individuals that are high powered, right? I work with a lot of women that are in corporate. They're in the C suites, they're entrepreneurs, and these are the women that you would think they were at a 10 plus when it comes to knowing their value and worth, right? Um, but sometimes, and this is all of us, we can sometimes struggle with really knowing our value and worth. We don't even know that we don't know our value and worth
Yeah.
sometimes. Yeah. And so you need someone to help you kind of break down. Well, let's look at this thing. Because if you really knew your value and worth, would you stay in that relationship where there's a side piece, or you are the side piece, or you know this is not good for you, but you're telling yourself, well, I don't know what else is out there. I know this, right? So sometimes we need that support. We need help. We need people to help us open our eyes up to see that we aren't necessarily valuing ourselves the way that we should. And so when we do learn our value, it does shift how we connect with others and who we attract to us. So
Yep.
definitely. Latanya said, when I think of intimacy, it's the knowing how to communicate with each other and knowing how to have conversations when there is an issue without it having to be an argument. Sis, let's talk about maturity, right?
Okay. Yes.
In this part of being able to talk, like, what's your thoughts on that? This whole let's communicate. When there's an issue, we're going to communicate. What are your thoughts on that?
We got to get back to being able to have conversations,
Yeah,
without automatically getting so defensive or automatically, some people will have the rebuttal before you're even done talking
that part.
because they're just responding, listening to respond. So
Yeah.
I definitely agree with that.
Yes, yes. The other part is that, and look, they Ravanya definitely is preaching good. The other part of what Latanya was saying too about having being able to have conversations, hard conversations, how that's a form of intimacy. Number one, Latanya, I agree with you 1,000% that that is a form of intimacy because intimacy requires trust. And so for me to be able to say to you how I really feel, even knowing that you may disagree, you may dislike it, it may hurt your feelings, but the fact that I'm coming to you and saying it to you anyway shows that I value you, I trust you, and I
Mhm.
love you. Because if I'm going to lie, it's not really a real relationship, right? Because if I'm afraid to give you hardness, then that means that there's a piece of me that I'm not able to share with you, right? So when you're able to have hard conversations, that is indicative of you're on the right track, that this is intimacy, where we can talk about things that may make the other person feel uncomfortable. And that's one of the things that even when I do the marriage counseling, I always talk to my couples and let them know that in this is a partnership, and in order for it to grow, in order for it to be strengthened, you have to be able to have hard conversations. I can't trust you if you don't have hard conversations because your unwillingness to be honest with me, I can't trust. Like, how can we grow?
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely, definitely. So I definitely love that. So listen, y'all, we normally go for an hour. We're a minute over. Um, Let me, and I know we started, we was like 5 minutes late because of technology,
That
right?
wasn't our fault now, Rachel. That
That
wasn't
was
our fault
that's
now.
right.
We
That
were
was
ready.
not that was not our fault. This has been a delicious conversation.
It has.
April, I definitely appreciate you coming on. So listen, April has, and that was that was such an abrupt stop. Um, so before we close, there's a few things that I do want us to talk about. Ravanya said something. Hold on, I'm going to pull Ravanya's comment in here. Ravanya said, when a man wants to look at a game and you are really not into this, but because you measure what his happiness is to him, you can then be there for him mentally and emotionally by knowing, excuse me, by knowing the liking to him can be the same with you just because of his liking. So basically, and this is Ravanya, I'm gonna summarize, paraphrase what I think you're saying, that listen, intimacy, connect with your partner. And that means if he's enjoying something, liking it, you can take it on too. You may not necessarily like it, but can you sit there, right? Can you sit there? Can you act interested? Don't be breathing hard and heavy. Like being able to make that compromise to support this
Mhm.
person definitely is a really good way to connect. This has been delicious conversation because we've been talking about how we connect with people, how we can, number one, how we connect with ourselves, how
Yes.
we engage in self-care and self-love, and then how in turn that plays out um, in your relationships. Yeah, I'll take joy in his, yeah, take joy in his, like it makes me happy to see him happy. That makes sense, April.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Yeah,
And sometimes it's a struggle, but it's so true. It's
yeah,
so true.
we definitely. So, ladies, we can work on that. I want to, y'all are going to see in a second, I'm going to put April's information back up here. Um, Check out her site. She has some affirmation. She's got courses. She's got books. She's got products. So, y'all go check her out, support. Um, we also have, y'all know I'm self-care. Like I be trying to help y'all out with the self-care. So I want to, we got to do better. men and women, we have got to do better with taking care of ourselves, especially when we are in relationship with ourselves, right? We got to get that together first. But then, especially if we're looking to be in relationship with someone else, you got to get you right first. So, there's two things that I want to talk to y'all about. One, y'all know about my course, my self care, becoming your own best friend course. It's in the comments. Y'all go check that out. Get that. Get yourself together. What we're not fitting to do is go into 2022 the same way you were last year, not taking care of yourself, being burned out, and then you haven't learned how to connect with you, and you trying to connect with somebody else. What are y'all saying again? Because I just April, what are they saying again? Yeah. Let's get it together, ladies, gentlemen. Let's do what we need to do to get ourselves together. So, um, get the course, make an investment. I have listen, get the course, make an investment in you. Show you that you care about you, get the support you need. The other thing that I want to talk to y'all about, I'm so excited. Do y'all see my face? I am so excited. So there's this course that I am going to be launching in March. And in March, we're going to be launching a course. Thank you, Brandy. It's called Love Like You've Never Been Hurt Before, right? So we've been talking about how for some of us, and we didn't get to go through all of the questions, but we've been talking about how sometimes we can't connect. It's hard for us to be intimate, um, sexually or otherwise, because we have been broken, we have been hurt, and we have learned how to put the wall up. Like we do that very, very well. But when you put that wall up, it stops you from having the type of relationship that you really want. So I want to help. It is my mission to help women, and this particular course is for women, to help us get things on track, right? You're saying, I work with so many women that are like, yo, I'm ready to be in a relationship, or I'm in a relationship, but it's so hard for me to connect with this person. They're not getting all of me. So I want to help you get yourself together. I want to help go back, look at some of the wounding, look at what happened, and teach you, help you heal, and then teach you how to start learning to be soft, learning how to connect with your partner in a way that's meaningful for you, so that you can have the love you deserve. Like you can have that intimacy we was talking about, you can actually have it. So if you are interested in that, I'm going to put up my website. I want you to connect with me. We're doing a wait list. When it comes out, I'll let you know. You'll be first to be notified, because I want to get you on our wait list. And you can go to the website. Where is support when you need them?
Right.
Where's support at? But I want you to go to the website, and you can connect with us through there, and just let us know, hey, I'm interested in doing the Love Like You've Never Been Hurt Before course. Or you can hit us on Facebook. Can you tell us, April, where they can connect with you as well? I know we put it in the chat, but just for the people that came in late, where can they connect? What are your handles, your social media handles?
Yeah. So Facebook is me, myself, and family, the ampersand sign. So me, myself, and family. Instagram is at me _ myself _ family. So it's me, myself, family everywhere. Twitter, same, me, myself, and family. And then there's the website, www.memyselffamily.com. So check
I
me
heard
out.
what she said. Yeah. So definitely check her out. Listen, they're asking for part two, April. April, are you coming back?
As long as you have me, I'm here.
Yes, yes. They said part two. What is part two? And we have part two. Listen, so next Friday, so every Friday, so let me ask y'all this. We hadn't done Relationship Friday in a while. And so I said for the Fridays in February, we would do it. So every Friday in February, come back, we'll be doing Relationship Fridays. But do y'all want to do it? Because I did it a while ago. And some of y'all was acting like y'all wasn't gonna show up. And I'm like, well, listen, what I'm not fitting to do, right? No. But if you want to, if there's conversations, that specific topics you want to talk about, I love it. I love it. I am open to doing it. Y'all let me know if this is something that, oh, listen, Edwina said, listen, we did not say that we were ready to listen after party. What's that, April, what's that thing where the people pay to get on and they pay to come into your room? What is that thing called?
Is it a website?
No, it's a platform. Y'all help me out. What's that thing called? I know Brandy knows. That thing got steamy. Yes, it did. Listen, that's what we do. Relationship Fridays. We talk about real. First off, it's adult conversation. So get the kids out, because what we is doing is talking about some real stuff. What is that thing called?
What is it? Is it a subscription or something?
Yes, you people pay. No,
No, you ain't talking about.
look.
I was about to
The dirty website. No, no. Patreon.
Oh.
That's what it's called. Listen, I'm gonna we're gonna get Patreon. The after party in the Patreon. So basically, Patreon is now. Brandy, correct me if I'm saying it wrong. No, not the OnlyFans.
The dirty website. I'm cracking up.
No, that is. Y'all trying to get? Look, they're trying to get my license revoked. Oh, Patreon. That's what it is. But Patreon, I don't know. I don't know enough about it. But listen, I want y'all to come back next Friday. Same time, same bat. What do they say? The same bat channel, same bat place. Before we go, because I always like to I'm like a teacher. Like even from a little kid, I always wanted, come on, y'all be in my class. So I am like a teacher, and I love talking, sharing, educating. So questions. All right, I'll take any me and April will take any questions that y'all have. April, Edwina said, I was like, what exactly? Like, no, not that. Not that. How much do they pay though? No, I'm just playing. Any questions, thoughts, comments about this whole idea of engaging in self-care? Challenges to doing self-care, especially when you're in a relationship. Intimacy. Any questions about how to overcome fear of intimacy? Any Edwina, take you that? No, Edwina. No, that's what somebody else would probably say, not me.
That was somebody else.
Somebody else. Any questions? And then I want to hear, this is what I do when I do my coaching sessions. I always say, any thoughts, feelings? I want to hear your thoughts, your feelings. What are your takeaways from tonight's session? So while they're typing that in, first off, let me turn this heat off. I am good.
And I was going to say, Rachel, as much fun as I'm having, I have about 2 minutes left.
Yes, gotcha.
So
any last comments that you want to make before we go? And I'll stay on just for a little while longer, y'all, just to answer any questions. April, what you saying?
I'm good. I'm waiting for the questions. I got 2 minutes.
Any questions, y'all? Before April hops off, I'll stay on just a little while longer. Because I enjoyed the conversation.
I know, this was so dope. I'm so happy that we were able to do this.
I know. And it was a good vibe. Edwina said, no.
Edwina, just follow me, girl. Go ahead.
That's right. Follow her. And I'll bring her back. We'll do part 2.
Yes, this was fun.
Friday. Look, I'm just throwing you out there. Are you free next Friday?
I'll check and let you know.
Let me know.
If
Let
I
me
am, we could definitely do it again.
Okay. Okay. If not, we're still going to be up here, and we will still have great conversation about self care, about relationships. Relationship Friday is all about that. So listen. We this is adult conversation. I just need to, because sometimes our conversations we go deep. April is new to me.
Yeah.
April, so you'll find out. April, real quick before you go, what do you do? We had some people that came on late and didn't get to hear your introduction.
Yeah. So the formal name of my business is Me, Myself, and Family. All about helping people learn how to take care of themselves as a priority before they take care of others, right? So a lot of times we feel that we can give and give and give, and we don't realize we're pouring from an empty vessel. So that is my mission, to help people figure that out for themselves. And I do that as a 5-star e-course creator. I have a course, Positive Affirmations That Will Change Your Life. I'm also a #1 best-selling author of the book, The Masterpiece of Mastering Peace, 15 Positive Affirmations That Will Change Your Life. I create journals, affirmation journals and notebooks, candles, mists. So it's all about positive affirmations, mindset, which is a part of that self-care journey, self-love journey. So, yep.
Yes, yes. And for those of you all who sign up for the course, either one of the courses, you will be able to get a discount on some of her products. So sign up, invest in yourself. The
Yes.
self care course, you can go at your own pace, and boom, get that going. The love like you've never been loved before. The self care course is you get connection to the Facebook group and community. There's a lot of material in there, and it's going to help you get your mind right about taking care of you. And starting to look at yourself like you are your own best friend. To love yourself like you love, like you've never been hurt before. Um, sis, ladies,
I love that.
yeah, that's going to be a live one. So if you sign up for this go round, you will have the opportunity to do it live with me. After that, it'll be pre-recorded for the other people. Now I'm just going to let you know there are. It is an investment. Now this course, it's 6 weeks long. There are a lot of bonuses that you're going to get in there. It's a lot of good stuff in deliciousness in there. So you're going to pay for it, but it is by the time you finish, both of these courses are going to get you right, so that you can connect. You're going to be a healthier you, and you are going to be able to connect with and attract the partner, the type of healthy partner that you want, and to connect with whoever you're with now in a healthier way. So yeah, you need to go ahead and get that. Thank you so much, April. Brandon said, thank you for sharing. April, how can I find April on social media? She is on me.
So Facebook is Me, Myself, and Family, the little and sign, ampersand sign. Instagram is at me_myself_family. So it's some underscores in there. So
Mhm. And it's posted in the chat as well. Her information is in the chat as well. Link with her. She's got some really good stuff. And I'm so happy to have met her, partnered, connected with her.
yes.
Because, yeah, we're going to get these ladies right, April.
Yeah.
So, yes, yes. April, thank you so much for being here tonight. I know you got to hop off. This is her information, y'all. Check her out. I don't see any questions, so y'all must be good to go. So I will hop off as well. But we will see y'all back here next Friday. And yes, I'm feeling Edwina. I feel a yes too in my spirit. Edwina says she feels a yes in her spirit that she'll be able to be back next Friday. So y'all listen, share this, like the page, follow April, follow me, subscribe. April, are you on YouTube also?
I am. I don't use it much, but I believe it's Me, Myself, Family. It's all one word, but I would have to check that one.
Okay, well, follow her on what you do know.
Yeah.
like her, follow her. We need to get, we need to support each other, and we trying to get our
Absolutely.
likes, get our subscriptions up, but we have good quality stuff. Like, yo, it's time to get us right, get our
Yep.
health right, and we have good quality people that are able to help us as a community get ourselves right. So let's do this. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, y'all take
All
care.
right.
Y'all be blessed. See y'all next Friday.
All right. See you later.
All right, bye.
Bye.